Tashana Tribe, Rita Mavinda here, and we are going to be talking today about the next step in really getting your business going. We've already put up 1 and 2. So now, right now, we are going to be talking about what kind of a legal structure and how you're going to move forward here, specifically in Kenya. I'm assuming you probably use this anywhere, but again, you know how it is. We talk about Tashana Investment Africa, our primary, or rather our first business location in Kenya, with the aspirations of being throughout Comesa region. So first thing you want to do is, now that you've got the name, now that you've got the name of the business, now that you kind of know what you want to do, how do you want to move it? You're doing maybe a business that you like, or you're doing a business about something that you know. Now the next thing is utilizing your legal team to put up the business structure. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick out what legal structure you are going to be using. Are you going to be a sole proprietorship? Are you going to be a partnership? Are you going to be a corporation? Are you going to be a limited company? How and what do you want to do? So for us, when I originally started my business, I had started my business originally as a partnership. Why? I was unable to start my business by myself because I was not a Kenyan citizen at the time. So I was required to have a Kenyan citizen also be a part of my business. I had asked one of my cousins who is here, who was born and raised in Kenya, if he could be just someone who could be on my papers to say as my partner on our business structure. Long story short, he really messed up. He did a lot of real fuckery, y'all. And long story short, I had to readjust and redo my business structure. We determined that it would probably not be smart to keep my cousin on the previous business name because of all the other ignorant stuff he decided to do out in the street. So, and I'm not trying to get in trouble for something that somebody else did, okay? So we ended up coming back and we redid the structure. So I moved from being a partnership into now being a limited liability company, a corporation. At the present, I was able to do so because when we now created the second business structure, I was now a legal Kenyan citizen. And by being so, I was able to open up the business by myself and be a director of my own business. And we made it as a corporation. We decided to make it as a corporation just for liability purposes. So for taxing, right, your tax issues are separate than your legal liability issues. As you may or may not know, if you are part of a corporation, there are going to be certain protections that the law is going to give you as a corporation in terms of, if you're sued, what's able to be attached, what are they able to get at, and what are you really going to be responsible for? So for us, we decided to just make it into a corporation as our business structure. Once you have figured out exactly what legal structure you want to do, and then also keeping in mind, right, your legal structure will also depend on what kind of a business you're going to do. So for instance, let's say you're going to open up a law practice, a psychiatry practice, like an accounting firm or something like that. Those are generally registered as partnerships, right? For us, because we are now moving into the pharma business, we are a product-based business, not a service-based business. For us, it just made more sense to be a corporation. So keep in mind what legal structure you want to do. It is prudent, if you do not understand what those terms mean and what that means, go and seek it out. You're welcome to hit us up. I will definitely put you in contact with all the people we have used, but Google is your best friend. Look it up. Just take a little read. What's an S Corp? What's an LLP? What's a LC? All of these things, look it up. And then if you really have real issues and you want to really understand more, call a lawyer, right? Set up a consultancy. Ask for a business lawyer. Look it up specifically for a business lawyer who does business transactions and work, and make a meeting and a consultation with them. That's what I did. When I first moved here, before I found my permanent lawyer, Etta, I had definitely sought out counsel to understand how it is and what I should be doing here in the country, and also making sure that you set up your business legally. There's a lot of illegal stuff that you could do, but that's not what we do here. We do everything by the book. So seek out the information that you need and understand exactly what the business structure that you want for your business, how do you want to set it up, and then understanding all of the various ramifications that come with it, right? What are your statutory costs? What are your tax compliance costs? And making sure that you stay up to date with it. Once you have done that, and now you have your business name, you've got to register that business name. So here in Kenya, what you would do is that you would have to first do a business name search and make sure that your business name has not already been taken. Now, if you have a business name that is very similar to other businesses, they might not give you the name, right? So just again, to give you an idea, originally, like I told you guys already, I had originally started our business as a partnership. Originally, our business was called Tashana Industries Africa as a partnership. When we went back after all that stuff happened, and now we had to re-register the business as a corporation, when we went back to use Tashana Industries, Industries now popped up in so many various names with Africa attached to it that the registrar would not give us that name. So we ended up having to change the company name to what you now know it as Tashana Investment Africa. And if I do say so myself, I think I like Tashana Investment Africa a little bit better, right? It feels more like, I don't know, that we're really putting back into the country opposed to like a big concrete, looking at like the little smokestacks coming out like an industry, you know what I mean? So anyway, so that's what we ended up having to do. So make sure that the business name that you want is available and that you are allowed to have that name. Once you have that name, what you're going to do is you're going to have to register that name with the corporate officers. There's a whole set of paperwork. It's very straightforward. If you have a lawyer on deck, they'll be able to get all of that done for you. They'll be able to search the name to make sure that it's available. They'll wait for the amount of time that's required. There's a waiting time in between. And then they'll be able to register that business for you. And then once they've registered that business, they're going to give you all of the paperwork back, right? So they're going to give you your registration number, which is going to be different than your tax ID numbers, okay? And that registration number that you have when you are now doing your taxes, these are the numbers you're going to use. If a company asks you, when were you registered? What's your registration date? They're going to give you all of that when you register the name in the business. And these are the names that you have to have. Okay. So your trifecta, right? I call them the trifecta meaning what are the three main business documents that you need? It's going to be your registration, your KRA PIN, and your CR2. And your CR2 forms are your forms that say who's part of the business, right? Who are the directors? Where are they from? How many shares of the company do they own? Because we're a corporation, we have shares. What do they own? Okay. Once now you have registered your business and you have all of that, now you've got to make sure that you've got all of the proper licensing and the permits that are required for your business. You will be required to have a business license. You can get those right here in CBD. Like I said, the first two registration, I just did it myself. You're just gonna go down to the CBD office. You'll go down, it's like the county, it's one of the county city council offices. And they're gonna give you a list of all the stuff that's required of you. You're going to give them, right, like your name, your ID, your address, your business location, the business name, when was it registered, and they're going to give you, and then you're going to have to get, there's like two other special certificates, but it kind of comes all together with your business license. It's like your health certificate and your fire certificate. I think they just kind of make you do it so that they can get a little more cash out of you, because I don't really know really what the point is to have that, but whatever, just be compliant. Like if that's what you want, you like it, I love it, done. So usually that is about 60K. And so that's why some of y'all who have been putting in my comments that you have had people asking y'all for 40,000 USD. We had a young lady who had told me she was asked for 50,000 USD. It don't even cost no more than $600, okay? So if you're meeting you're meeting these guys who are hitting you up for these double-digit thousands of USD, call me. I'm gonna help you out. Okay, don't even do that. Don't play yourself. Call me, we'll help you out. All right, so you want to be able to get that. And then these you have to renew every year. Every year you need to renew them. Be very mindful of your timelines of when you're getting your paperwork and when you're having to renew. A lot of your renewals are calendar years, not on the date that you got it, okay? So for instance, I believe our first round when we got our papers, we got them in June, which is in the middle of the year. It expires December, right? So you don't get the whole year from June to June. You get from June to December, okay? Everything is based on a calendar year. When you are doing your financing and making sure for your next year around November, December, make sure you start stacking up the cash to have all of your business licenses renewals in that January, because you are going to be dishing all of this stuff is going to be in cash. There's no real credit system out here. It's cash. Now, for us as Americans, where we are very used to a credit system, moving here and moving into a cash system requires adjustments. It requires for you to really be aware of where your cash is going. However, I much prefer this cash system than this credit system. This cash system actually makes much more sense because you're much more in control of what's around you, right? That credit nonsense out there, like, oh, put on my credit card, it don't matter. And then all of a sudden one day you're looking at an Amex bill that's like $40,000 and you're like, oop, how did I do that, right? Nice thing with the cash system is like, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. I ain't got it. Once I get it, I'm gonna run it to you. But until then, I ain't got it. So there was definitely an adjustment period for me during that time when I was here. However, now that I am here, run me my cash. Cash is king. I prefer this cash system, okay? So make sure you get all of those. Now, because we are importers, distributors, and manufacturers of private label, we are required to also have importation permits, okay? Your importation permits you are going to get from KRA, which is the Kenyan Revenue Authority. They are king out here. Don't play with the tax man. I think I told y'all I played around a little with the tax man when I was in the U.S. Woo! Learn my lesson, y'all. Learn my lesson. Won't do that again. The only man I ain't playing with is a tax man. Woo, I got fined in the U.S., y'all. I got fined $15,000. Whoa, okay? That's another story for another day. Anyway, so the point is make sure you get, if you're an importer like us, distributors like us, get your importation permits, okay? Again, I went down to the KRA office. It's right over here in CBD. You go up to the 17th, at least when I went, it was on the 17th floor. Go over there and harass them until they give you everything that's required of you, okay? Like I said, I am a firm believer of your first go rounds with getting all of these things set up, you do it yourself. If you hire an agent, that's fine. Go with your agent. Find and figure out exactly where they're going, who they're talking to, how are they talking to them, and make sure you are in the loop, okay? Once you've done this a few times and now you have an agent that you trust, then it's fine. Let them go and do it, but you got to know what the costs are up front, right? If it's $600, don't quote me $40,000. You understand? So make sure you go and get that done. Anyways, your import licenses are generally a longer running thing. Once you have them, you don't have to renew them every single year, which makes your life a lot easier, okay? And then the last thing, no. Also now talking about your licenses and your permits, make sure you get your tax KRA PIN, okay? Your KRA PIN is required for your business. You're not gonna be able to do anything out here if you do not have a KRA PIN, okay? Your KRA PIN, you have an individual KRA PIN, which I have. This is how you do your taxes. And then you have your company KRA PIN. If you don't have this company KRA PIN, the way that KRA is now coming down, running up on people looking for their taxes, if they catch you, they gonna get you, okay? You understand what I'm saying? So don't play around, all right? If you're out here and you're moving over to Africa to do a business, you do not move over here to do no nonsense. So don't start it from the beginning, all right? Just make sure everything is legit from the beginning. It's gonna make your life easier. And why bring more headaches, nonsense, troubles, worries your way? Because you're trying to be cute on the front end. You could do it. Don't make me know, never mind. But why do it? You get what I mean? And then now once you've set up all the kind of that, you want to make sure you have your accounting system set up, right? So there's a lot of taxes. There's a lot of little things that are required in the market. There's a lot of paperwork that is required to be submitted to KRA. They have just changed some of the directives. So a lot of the documentation nowadays, it has to be sent electronically, not by handwriting. If you are not up to date with these things, they are going to fine you. They are going to find you and they're going to fine you, okay? We got fined 1 month because I just forgot to send in the statutory. I thought I had put it in. I thought I had paid it. And then my finance called me. She was like, where's the receipt for it? I was like, yeah, you got it. She was like, Rita, where's the receipt? Bro, we looked through it. There was no receipt. Bloop. Sure did get slapped with $100 fine. And how much I had to pay was $100. It sucked, right? Like, it's so stupid. So anyways, make sure you have got a system for your accounting. Make sure you have a system for your VATs. Are you compliant? Do you have your ETR machines, right? These are those little machines that when you plug it in and it pulls out the little receipt, it's a requirement, right? Before I started business, you know, when you go to the shops and they give you that little receipt, it's like, you want a receipt? It's like, throw it away. Who cares? If you're in business, nope, I need every single receipt, okay? You have to be able to account for everything that is going out of your business. Why? So if they come to audit you and they say, you've got this over here, where is the accompanying document? If you don't have that, how's it gonna look? They're gonna fine you. So we are right now just talking about our initial business structure creations. We're talking about the initial business structures. Keep it clean, keep it tight, and do it from the beginning, okay? Don't play yourself. So choose the legal structure that you really need that's gonna work best for the business that you are creating. Are you creating a partnership for a professional service, legal, medical, accounting? Or are you going into what we're doing, private label, importation, distribution, and manufacturing? Once you know what your structure is, get your business name, register your business name. Make sure you know that you can have the business name that you want, right? It's your baby. You want to call your baby what you want to call your baby, right? Make sure you get all the licenses and the permits that are required for you, okay? Like I said, I'm telling you guys what's required for us in our business, and we are required to have an importation license, a business license. When we were doing our alcohol importation of wine, we had to have liquor licenses, and all of these agencies are different. None of these agencies talk together, okay? Keep that in mind, which means that you're gonna be doing a lot of running around. A lot. In this phase of the business, it's going to be exhausting. You're going to be tired, but it's required. So just do it. And once you've gotten that, you get your tax ID, your tax pins, get your accounting system in order. Get a system. The system is what allows for you to be an efficient worker and not a hard worker. If you do not know how to create a system, you are welcome to hit us up and we will assist you. Google, hunt out people in the market that you like what they're doing. You will be amazed with the number of people who will be willing to talk to you if you put yourself out there and you ask, right? Closed mouths don't get fed. Okay? So ask, ask, ask. Even if you think you're being annoying, even if you think you've asked the same question over and over again, ask till it makes sense to you. Simple as that, okay? So these are the little things right now for our segment number 3 about how do you set up that business structure and how it's got to look for you, okay? You got any comments or questions, hit me down in the comments. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and follow TIA Marketplace. You already know. Talk to y'all later.